We are not the people who are in charge. We are not the people who are in control. I think we should be, but that's beside the point. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Chalkboard Chats. My name is Henry. I'm a life coach for teachers, and on this channel, we talk all things teaching and everything in support of teachers. Today, I wanted to share with you a change in perspective that I think will make your life as a teacher so much easier because, as you know, the system is a bit broken. While it is so incredibly broken, it is also crushing everybody who's involved, especially the teachers. And we need to DIY it. We need to put systems in place so that we don't get crushed by this industry. This industry is only focused on money, get that money, keep that money. Is not paying the teachers well. It is not really about knowledge and education anymore. So we need to find a way to make this job sustainable for us. It's not really education anymore. I'm not sure what it is, but we teach, we stand in the classroom, and the students learn or not. They are not paying attention, they're not learning, they're not putting in the effort. So therefore, they're failing. But then the school is looking at us and putting the blame on us for the student's failure, gives us the responsibility to make sure that the student doesn't fail, except it's not in our power. At some point, what the school is requesting, it's for us to just change the grade. I haven't had this, but I've had many people around me have been asked to change the grades of the students. So I'm like, what are we doing? What the industry is doing right now is also hurting us. I see too many teachers are burning out. They are crumbling under this pressure. We need to put some tools in place. So I have created many tools to help us make this sustainable for ourselves because nobody is going to do it for us. They don't have time to help us. They will give us more responsibility. They will take away all of the support, and they are slowly chasing us all out of this industry. It's not necessary. We can DIY, we can put things in place for ourselves just so that it is a sustainable job. That if you choose to have this job, that at least you don't give up your mental health. It feels like it's like this trade-off. You either have this job and lose all of your sanity, or you quit the job and then maybe you have a life again. Maybe then you can get some sleep back. Maybe then your mental health will improve. And I think that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. So it is my mission to help with teachers' mental health, to support wherever I can. That is the whole reason for this channel, and that is my purpose with coaching, to help us teachers figure this out, to make this more sustainable for us so that we don't have this trade-off of either the job or mental health. No, we should be able to sleep soundly at night and to enjoy this job. I don't think it should be a trade-off. So that said, a lot of us agree that this industry, that the system, how it is set up, isn't working, but it is in place. I wish we could just change it, but we can't. We are not the people who are in charge. We are not the people who are in control. I think we should be, but that's beside the point. So unfortunately, we can't change it ourselves. What we can, however, do is change how we approach this job, change how we look at this whole industry, kind of shift our perspective so that we are not crushed by the broken pieces of this industry. Because when I look at the industry as a whole, how it treats the teachers, it is always focused on having the teachers do more, having the teachers meet the students' needs, having the teachers be perfect and take responsibility over the students' performance. And also, I always get the message of that we control our students. But if I look at how broken this system is, I'm like, no. Industry, education, you're in no position of telling me how to do my job. Because look at what you're doing yourself. This whole industry is based on the idea that students come in and learn something. However, learning something that goes hand in hand with failing at it. We don't acknowledge their failure. No, 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 no. Failing is like a taboo. We don't talk about it. We don't discuss it. It is something that we are almost like looking down upon. Oh, no, you failed. How bad. But then what the industry does is say, hey, teacher, these students cannot fail. Failing is bad. Can you just make sure that they don't fail? They don't need to do anything. They don't need to know more. They don't need to show that they've understood the knowledge, that they can apply the knowledge. No, no, no. Just change the grade so that they're not failing. If this is how education does its job, you don't get to tell me how I should do my job. Look at what you're doing. Look at this. It is crazy. It's ridiculous. So, no, education. You clean up your own stuff first, and then I welcome you into my classroom and tell me how I should teach. But before that, you have other things to focus on. So, all the admin, all the principals, all the management who are having these ideas about how teachers should teach, I'm always a bit like, will you figure out your job first? Because look at all the mess that you're making. Leave me to it because I've been trained to teach. I know how to teach. I've been taught. I was a student myself, so I know how this works. I don't need you to spend and waste a lot of your energy being mad at me. I've been teaching now for almost a decade, and in the first couple of years, I was suffering from all the self-punishment that I put on myself because I was like, I'm not doing this well enough. The students are interrupting me. They're not learning. They're failing. They're not respecting me. And I all took this as a failure of me and my capabilities. I questioned if I was cut out for this. I wondered if I did the right thing. And it was hard. It was really heavy. Now, that didn't have anything to do with education as a system. It was just that I took on all the messages that education was giving me, that I should meet all the students' needs, that I should control all the students, that I should take responsibility for their performance, that I should, be better every time, all the time in my classes. And I took it as a failure that I wasn't living up to that standard because the standard of education is high, only of the teachers. Of anybody else? No, 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 no. Not of themselves, not of the students. No, only the teachers. Their standards are impossible to reach. We're the only ones who are held to this standard. So as soon as I realized how broken this system is, I was like, wait a second. This system is so broken. It is full of humans making so many mistakes. That means that includes me. I don't need to be perfect. I don't need to be as engaging as I think I have to be. I don't need to have everything self-made by my hands. I can copy something from another teacher. And the more I've looked at all the broken pieces of education, the easier my job is now. Because I'm like, hold on, you guys are lying to me. I don't control my students. That's not how it works. Because if I did, I didn't need classroom management systems. If I was responsible for my students' performance, then I am responsible for all of their performance. So that means that everybody should either get a really high score or everybody should fail. Yet some students pass, some students fail. If it were in my control, all of the students would have the exact same score. How is that possible? That we don't control them. We don't control their behavior. We don't control their performance. That's not how it works. Like, okay, what else is there? Meet their needs. And this is something that I realized only a couple of months ago. I always thought that I needed to meet the student's needs. And I hear this everywhere. Meet the student need. Make sure you understand what the student needs and then meet their needs. Oh, wait, hold on. I realized meeting their needs isn't really in their favor. I thought if the school is for them to learn and prepare for the real world and learn and practice and, get ready for a job, isn't teaching them how to be resourceful more important than meeting their needs? Because if I meet their needs now, what they learn is, well, there is a person out there for me who can help me with whatever I need. I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. society isn't really nice to everybody. It's very choosy and picky. And it's like, well, I'm going to meet their needs, but not their needs because people are different. So, students in my classroom, I am sure to teach them how to be resourceful and how to keep up with it. Because if I just reach out every time they need something, they learn that they only need to do is, hey, I need something, and somebody will reach out with the help, with the support. And in real life, that's not how this shit works. Life is a lot harder and unfair. In the past, when students were complaining or when students were interrupting me or didn't pay attention, I felt like it's a personal failure. But instead, I looked at, wait a second, I wasn't anything better. We weren't anything better when I was younger. Students, kids are disruptive. That is just their nature. We put them in a classroom thinking that this is what is best for them. We don't know what's best for them. Who are we to decide that? A bunch of adults who are looking at the students were like, well, we know what is best. But I understand that we're doing this, how it's set up without any input of the students. Of course, they're going to show up with their own agenda. Of course, they're going to show up with their own ideas of what to do next. They don't automatically agree with sitting in a classroom, not talking and listening to the teacher and doing what the teacher says. That's what we think they should do. They have completely different ideas. They're like, all right, finally, I get to be the clown of the classroom. Or when I was younger, I was like, oh, finally, now I have my friend next to me so I can tell her about this thing that happened during break time. And the more I give them the freedom and space to be the humans that they are, the easier it is for me to deal with the disruption, to deal with their lack of attention. Because instead of getting angry at them, I feel a sense of empathy and a sense of determination where I'm like, no, 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 we are not going to get distracted. We are not going to get into, let's say, an argument about this disruption. We are going to continue with the lesson. So I see the disruption happening or I see the distraction happening. I go from noticing it to empathy. I completely understand, but we are in class. And when we are in class, I have a say about what is going to happen next. So I'm going to stare immediately with a sense of determination towards, can we pay attention? Can we focus? Can we redirect this disruption? Can we use this as a moment to learn? Can I use this as a moment to teach something? Another example was that I used to get so upset and frustrated when the equipment that we were using was just broken. We would have a jammed copy machine. The printer ran out of ink. The school board, we have this like massive smart board that was either broken or frozen or had the wrong date. I still have that one. And instead of being frustrated and mad about it, because the idea is this should work. But I'm like, no, technology is there to be broken. But because education isn't perfect, it is such a broken system. I deal with broken things in it. I know it is messed up. I know this system is not working. Therefore, I don't have to be surprised when the copy machine is broken, when the printer is out of ink, all of those things that are, of course, because we're working in education. So as soon as I realize that I can function with this and I don't have to be mad about it because, well, it is so draining to teach with anger. I've tried it. I won't recommend it. I need that energy for other things. So instead of being angry about it, I just accept it and I say, well, I guess instead of every student having their individual worksheet, we are going to make our own worksheet. Here's an example. Copy this. You have 5 minutes to copy the exact sentences. There we go. And no, it's not perfect. But the thing is, I'm working in a broken system. So I am making the best with what is available to me. And oftentimes that means that it is imperfect, and that is okay. That shift of perspective, that acceptance, feeling of this is okay, the work that I do is enough, has given me so much more peace in the job. And it's become a lot easier to enjoy the classes again. I'm at home, I'm not thinking about work anymore, but I do have those creative bursts where I'm like, oh, I have a new activity, I want to try it out. And because I feel so good about the teaching, and I don't get upset when all the things break down, when all the kids are super disruptive, I actually enjoy my time and I get really excited about the new activities that I want to try out. It has saved me so much energy. So, when you acknowledge that we are working in a broken system, that we are dealing with stuff that isn't perfect, we can give ourselves permission to be not so perfect, because that's the thing. We don't have to be perfect. We are not dealing with life and death situations. We are not doctors where we are under such high pressure that a tiny decision can mean death for somebody else. We are working education. That means they can DIY their own education. There are books, there are libraries, there is the internet. So much of this can be done by themselves. And it is just a privilege that we help the students do it. We help them learn if they want to learn. So I hope you take this shift in perspective. Try it out. Try it just for a day. See how it feels. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on this are. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.